Okay. Hi, this is Ice Blue 33. Currently, it is November the 11th, 2025. Okay, well, I did say that Donald Trump will be shocked around November 5th, and a lot of stuff came up with the elections, and I've already made a video about that. But apparently, this man he fainted inside the Oval Office on I believe the 6th, as I was making a video in regards to Donald Trump being shocked. So I mean, SNL they made a comedy skit about it, and so that was just interesting. Let's see. Also, I think Nancy Pelosi she said that she's going to retire. I believe next year. Shocker. And again, you already know that Zoran Mandami he went up against. I believe he went up against Andrew Cuomo in regards to the governor race in New York, and he beat Andrew Cuomo after Donald Trump endorsed Andrew Cuomo. And then also another man named Jay Jones. He tried to when he won the attorney general election, I believe in Virginia. So, and then also there's a UPS plane crash, a fiery UPS plane crash, and then Donald Trump he hosted a pharmaceutical over office meeting or announcement or whatever, and one of the people that were standing up that they passed out or whatever, but it kind of looked staged to me. I mean, the person who was at the podium who was speaking, he it's like he reacted very very quickly to the man falling over. It's like he if it to me it looked like he knew that incident was going to happen. But that's my opinion. Now, a few months ago, I believe around like October, early October, I made a post to Donald Trump in regards to AstraZeneca because well, if you don't know, AstraZeneca it was its vaccine was considered like one of the most it caused a lot of adverse events in regards to a lot of people, reportedly and allegedly. But if you do your research, you'll see it. And I believe, and it looks like they basically got sued out of Europe, in my opinion, and reportedly. And so for Donald Trump to endorse that company with his name, as a matter of fact, Trump RX, I made a tweet to him. I believe in early October. I said, I hope you're gonna vet that company out and like pretty much make sure that they are on it, their tippy toes in regards to the quality. I even made a post about pretty much a video post with a video of Steve Jobs and him explaining the meaning of quality in regards to products. Anyway, so that's not the point of this video. Well, I did want to update people in regards to the things that I missed in regards to my prediction coming true in regards to Donald Trump being shocked. Also, the government is still shut down as of now, as far as I know. Anyway, so this video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about these tarot cards. So let me pause for a second. Okay, so I meditated on these cards a little bit longer. Um, and this is the tarot deck right here, the original AE Weight uh tarot cards. I guess they're the official ones. But so I meditated on these cards a little bit more, and what I found out was just insane. Um, but let's see here. I also did a little bit more research, and I found myself on a YouTube channel by a guy. His name is Joe Monteleone, and I'll spell his last name Monteleone. So Joe Monteleone, and he has a I think a tarot class course called Tarot Mysticism Academy. I cannot talk right. It is cold in here. It's freezing, but it's called Tarot Mysticism Academy. Joe Monteleone. And so I was watching one video from him. Oh God, I lost it now. Hopefully this is it. But because it was. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so I found myself on this video, learn the tarot's deeper meanings, the major arcana. It's a 1 hour and 15 minute and 2 second video, and so I believe inside this video, he was it was I hopefully that's the video that I watched because I watched several of them, but it's up. He was talking about this card right here. If you're squeamish about tarot cards, whatever, click off now because this entire video is going to be about the suit of swords and basically my interpretations of it because it reminds me of it makes me think of the Democratic Party and the Clintons. So this is the card that he referenced inside of this video. And so what I didn't notice as I was looking through the cards myself was that this image right here of this tarot card, which is called the High Priestess, is the same. The person inside this picture seems to be this person who is of the Two of Swords. So if you can't see it, there's a watery background inside the back right here, and these two pillars right here are holding up this cloth, so it's blocking it, so you can't see the watery background. And this High Priestess is basically, well, an oracle. Kind of find out is that this card right here. Well, let me say it like this: the Spica, the Fixar Spica. Apparently, it means the oracle, or the priestess. And I've already told you that Charlie Kirk, his natal sun is conjunct Spica. My ascendant is conjunct Spica as well. So, an oracle or a priestess or whatever. And so I told you that in this card right here, it means that somebody made a decision to kill this person. But what I didn't know was that this person was a major religious figure, a priestess. And so it sets off a chain of events in this suit of swords. So let me get my notes real quick. It is cold in here. Let me pause a second. Okay, so I found the lore. So let's see here. Try to hold it steady. And also try to get the reflections off here. Let's see if I can just... Okay, hopefully that's good enough. So I got it written here. They killed the High Priestess, sparking retaliation, ending in a demise that they did to themselves. You did this to yourself. The High Priestess is of overflowing hope, wishes, dreams, water and moon, religion, peace, and arbiter, and who arbitrates good and evil, good and bad, black and white pillars. Although it is an illusion, in reference to the drapes that's hung on the pillars, and that's hiding the ocean behind her. Let's see here. It is still peace, hope, dreams, and wishes, and you chose to destroy that. And Spica means the oracle, and that's what I'm thinking about right now. Charlie Kirk, his son was conjunct the fixed star Spica, and so Spica also means the unarmed one, the oracle, Charlie Kirk. And the Two of Swords can be considered a debater because 2 is the number of Taurus, the second sign, which is of the throat. Killed for speech regarding hopes and dreams and wishes. Religion. Taurus. However, speech is harmless. The unarmed one. You killed a preacher. So, going back through these suits, it is so cold in here and I cannot talk right. But I want to try to do my best to get through this. So, let me start with the Judgment card. And I had a dream last night about this tower, an event in regards to a tower like the tower like situation where something completely what's the word catastrophic happens. I had a dream about like a missile. It flew inside of the sky and like it hit something, and I also saw like a rocket fall down, like a space rocket that was trying to go somewhere. It fell down out of the sky, or whatever. But I also saw some balloons like being inflated, like Christmas balloons, like what do you call those things? Let me pause for a second. Okay, but those like inflatable fun houses. Well, inside the dream, I guess I saw like some inflatable like trees or whatever, and they were just inflating those. But I also like saw like a missile go across the sky and like some police cars or whatever. It was just crazy chaos. And I had a dream this morning, so it made me think about this car right here, the tower. And Mercury retrograde, transiting Mercury is going to conjoin transiting Mars tomorrow on the 12th of November. Hopefully, I don't sound too crazy, and I'm also probably shaking because it's freezing inside here. But I'm trying to get this video done. So back to Judgment in reference to how this is. I bought this tarot deck because I saw this card and somebody was flipping through their tarot deck, and I was like, "Are those coffins in the water?" So I'm gonna show this box again. I saw somebody with these cards right here. They were flipping through their cards, and I saw this card, and it stood out to me. Judgment. So I'll say my lore real quick, and then I'm gonna go down the Suit of Swords and how they look to me. So let me pause for a second. Okay, it's been 12 minutes. Wow. Okay, so I said Judgment 21. Even though the number up there says 20 right here, it's the 21st card inside of the deck. So let's see here. And I said 3 because when you add 2 and 1 together, it's 3. So it makes me think of the Clintons, the Democratic Party, and Donald Trump. As the 7 notes or loss of 8 are played by the angel via a trumpet, and again, there's 7 lines right here under this trumpet right here, and that's the 7 notes. So again, as the 7 notes, loss of 8, are played by the angel via a trumpet, trumpet, the hidden coffins and buried bodies / secrets float out of the scorpionic thawed icy waters, coming unearthed, opening and exposing / revealing everything to be seen and judged. The ending of winter and the beginning of spring, or a new season / era. P.S. I did say biblical. And so I'm not going to give all the astrological dates inside this video because one, it's cold inside of here, and two, like the big date is on the 13th of November in regards to Bill Clinton having the same astrology that he had during the impeachment hearings, and that happened on December 19th, 1998. And the astrology was shown inside his chart on December 26th, 1998. Anyway, so I got that. So I'm finna go down the how the suit of swords looks to me. So let me pause for a second to get the lore out. Okay, so the lore is here, and again, I say to me because people, there's some people that say that the suit of swords represents air. To me, it looks like it represents the element fire. And we'll just move on from there. So the One of Swords, the universe / God reaches out and comes out of nowhere and gives / drops a weapon / sword forged in fire, and kingship, king / lion. But understand that a weapon can be anything, like a bombshell, like maybe Danny Williams Clinton, or who knows, some major Epstein scandal. Anyway, so that's the Ace of Swords, the first card inside of the sword suit. The Two of Swords, and again, let me get this. The Two of Swords, and apparently It's the high priestess. You don't see the water side of the background because, but the water is there. You can barely see it. So let's see here. Jesus, it is freezing inside of here. So let me try to hold this up a little bit better. They're coming apart. Sorry for the wait, but so the Two of Swords. A decision has to be made in regards to someone's life. The person's fate is in your hand, your or someone else's hands. If you kill this person, someone else is going to want to kill you as well. The person is helpless, hopeless, vulnerable, and has no hope. Looking at the color of her garment, which is white, and you see that she's blindfolded by some cloth or whatever, and somebody else did that to her. She didn't do it to herself. So she's helpless, hopeless, and vulnerable. Has no hope. The color white garment, same color, the same color shown in the Nine of Swords later. Let me see here. Is that it? And also, you can tell that it's the high priestess because there's a stone slab that this woman is sitting on. Right here, this stone. She's sitting on this stone slab right here. And this same stone slab is shown right here. Right here. So let me pause for a second. Okay, so that's the Two of Swords. Somebody has to make a decision in regards to somebody's life who is helpless. And like I said, the Oracle is considered the unarmed one. They're without a weapon. And I'm referring back to my last video. And this older astrologer, he was saying that in reference to Charlie Kirk, that you live by the sword, you die by the sword. But like I said, Charlie Kirk, he debated. He didn't whatever. And I think also the astrologer, he was talking about the boy, he was talking about gun rights when he was shot inside of the throat. Okay. So the next card is the Three of Swords. And I got written here, and this lore is of my opinion, so maybe I could be wrong, but who knows? So I'm just gonna go by what I see. The Three of Swords. Someone's love/life is taken away, killed, destroyed. However, three people are affected: you, the killer, the killed, and finally their loved ones, or the person/persons who love them. You are affected as well because you have to live with the consequences, which breaks your heart as well. So that's why it's three heartbreaks right here, or three swords inside of the heart. So let's see. Let's keep moving. It is freezing inside of here. Oh, but shaking. It is freezing in here. What I do for whatever. So this is the Four of Swords. This this I can't even talk right. It's so cold. But this egotistical man, he's peacefully asleep, even though the possibility of revenge and death hangs over his head. Looking at the three swords that are hanging above his head. So he's secure for now because he has his best weapon and armor ready. That's on him right there. I think he's inside of a metal armor, and his golden sword is sitting right below him. So let's see here. So that means somebody's planning revenge as you sleep. So that was the Four of Swords. Okay, this is the Five of Swords. And so, and with the Five of Swords, the egotistical man gets attacked, but he bests the others that are trying to get their revenge. However, they may not even really want to attack him like this because he doesn't understand what he's done. And so they may just simply let him win. As they didn't really want to kill him, they just wanted to make him understand what he has done. One man is even crying in the background. And let me point him out real quick. So this man right here, he's crying right here. Is that a man, or it could be a man or a woman? That figure inside the back there. So let's see where I stop at. Yeah, one man is crying inside the background. Killing him would not be enough. The man killed the high priestess. He doesn't understand what his actions have caused. He seemingly takes away their three swords, as he's holding them. You see them right there. And it was possibly the three swords that were hanging over his head as he slept in the four swords card that I just showed. He thinks that he has foiled their plans, but it is not over. However, it is victory for now. And yes, he seems to have won as the others surrender and give up and walk away when up against him and his weapons/forces. But can he truly sleep peacefully at night as death and possible revenge still awaits him? There's more than one way to get to him. More than one way to skin a cat. They could plan to make him feel the same as they have felt when the high priestess was killed, or the unarmed one was killed. Revenge. And again, unarmed. Spica is in reference to the unarmed one, and the high priestess apparently is seemingly also relates to Spica. And again, Charlie Kirk, his ascendant is my ascendant is conjunct Spica. His son is conjunct Spica, his natal son. So let me continue on. Jesus, is this? So the Six of Swords, right? See if I can just try to hold this a little bit better so you can see most of the card. Whew. So, Six of Swords. His family leaves and goes away on a trip, which could be due to the possible danger of revenge or someone in their actions causing problems. They're sent away. They're probably sent away for safety and concerns. Or the family is probably even having fights with the egotistical man. A divorce. Think about Hillary Clinton. Come to find out, for Hillary Clinton, in 2027, her progressed on Pluto will conjoin her natal Mars. I think on March the 7th, 2027. Let me pause for a second to see if I can find it real quick. Okay, so I'm back. Pretty much, Hillary Clinton's her progressed Pluto will conjoin her natal Mars on March the 5th, 2027. And so I think Mars for her rules her 12th house, because she's a Gemini rising, right? Let me pause for a second, another second. Okay, so I was wrong. Pretty much, Mars rules Hillary Clinton's 11th and 6th house. And crazily enough, Hillary Clinton, she has a stellium inside of her 6th house. And that references her partners, as well as that's a lot of stuff right there. I might have to do another reading on her chart, but all I know is that pretty much something huge is, of course, going on. Especially, we'll see this on the 13th of November, 2 days from now. So let's see here. Again, the family leaves because of an egotistical man and his short-sighted actions. So let me pause for another second just to... I know I keep pausing, but... Yeah. Okay, so I'm back now. And actually, that's very important because there are some other dates I gave Hillary Clinton all the way back on, I believe, May the 15th or whatever. So I had to go down that list of progressions that I have for her. So, but let me get back to the cards. So this is the Six of Swords, right? So the family leaves and they have to hide away themselves because they see the danger of the egotistical man's actions. However, with the swords being stabbed into the boat, it could cause the boat to sink. So risky, desperate travels because of other risks and people and their short-sighted actions. And you can see the sword stabbed inside the boat right there. Okay, so Seven of Swords is next. Jesus. So this is Seven of Swords. Something of value is secretly taken from the egotistical man while he is distracted and causing trouble elsewhere. And you can see the man is inside of the background right here, waging war or doing other stuff with other people or whatever, while this man is secretly taking his weapons. Let me see here. Where did I stop at? So I'm gonna start back over. So something of value is secretly taken from the egotistical man while the man is distracted and causing trouble elsewhere. Maybe the people retake their swords that were taken via the Five of Swords card. The weapons are retaken back plus some additional, gaining an advantage, leaving the egotistical man with only 2 swords when he had a total of 7. Right? So he lost more than anyway, let me keep reading my lore. He lost more than double what he had. So leaving the egotistical man with only 2 swords left. It's also a reminder of his initial decision of the 2 of swords and the helpless, hopeless woman, and the decision that was made regarding her fate. So you see that he's only left with how do you say this? The two he started this all started with 2 of swords and is ending here with the 2 of swords. Let's see here. Let me just read from the lore. I'm sorry. It's also the reminder of his initial decision of the 2 of Swords card and the helpless, hopeless woman, and the decision that was made regarding her fate. The egotistical man is busy fighting and distracted, which is what he loves to do. Maybe he was tricked by the person who was to transport / hide his family, and maybe also the weapons that gave him an advantage were also stolen. And a time will come when he thinks that he has many weapons, but he now has few, due to this thief, who took advantage of the opportunity. And now the egotistical man is at a major disadvantage. So, keep on moving. Was that the 7 of Swords? Okay, so this is the 8 of Swords. An egotistical man's wife / love is taken and held hostage. Her fate is in someone else's hands, tied and blinded by a cloth. However, she has hope because of the color of her garment. Passion red, love / Mars. So you can see the difference between. Please let me just grab. Okay, there we go. This looks so like Jesus. In the 2 of Swords card, the woman's wearing white and she's blindfolded and helpless and hopeless. However, this woman is blindfolded, and you think of the color red, it could be bad or good because Mars is the color. I mean, red is the color of Mars, but also you think love as well when you think of red too, passion red. So, moving on. So next we're at the 9 of Swords. That's long. That's long. Okay. So the 9 of Swords. This is the one that freaks me out the most. Jesus. I'm trying to get reflections out of here. Okay. So the 9 of Swords. An egotistical man feels the same sense of loss and hopelessness / despair and helplessness that the high priestess felt as she was killed. He must go rescue his family / love, if they are still possibly alive, that is. But also, he comes to the realization that it is a fool's journey, and that he will die in the process. More than double the amount of his weapons have been stolen. Everything he had is gone, and very little is left. So he cannot sleep, wondering about his family and how to get them back. He's also thinking about the stolen weapons. Everything he's done to put himself in his current situation. And he sees his inevitable death as a result of his own actions. This person in this card is helpless and hopeless, wearing the color white, as the person the person inside of the Two of Swords card, um, the High Priestess. Their fate is also in someone else's hands, but it is a fate of their own doing, as this person is covering their own eyes. They're not covered by a blind cloth or whatever, and they're not tied or bounded by anything. Their their decisions brought them to this place right here. And this was created by their own ego and short-sighted actions. So let's see here. Moving on to the Ten of Swords, and that pretty much speaks for itself. In the Ten of Swords, the egotistical man is killed. He was made to feel the same thing that the High Priestess felt as she was killed, and then he was killed after that. He was betrayed, stabbed in the back by the people he trusted or thought that he was better than. And again, there's always a way to get to someone. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And I said I was going to flash the Judgment card here. Again, you see that trumpet right there? Let me grab that card before I step on it and bend it up and mess it up. So, see here, keep on moving. Right, I finished that. Like I said, I just had a dream last night about this card. Like something catastrophic happened in that dream. It's like, anyways, it's kind of hard to explain, and it's too cold in here. I wrote it down. I wrote down what I can remember, but now I might sound crazy as hell right now, so I'm just gonna go just finish up with this lore. And it's so cold in here I can barely talk. So this is the Page of Swords. This man, he is carelessly swinging his sword around just to do it, eagerly, because it's new and fun to him. He wants to use the sword so bad, not knowing the results and consequences of his actions. Oh yeah, I gotta keep that card out too. Oh, it's cold. So let's see here. So the Knight of Swords, right? So the Knight of Swords. He eagerly and quickly charges into battle and cannot wait to fight, not thinking of the consequences. Just full speed ahead to use his sword, which is what he always wanted to do anyway. But he doesn't see the consequences of his actions. It's right here. Whew. So the Queen of Swords. So I get the reflections out of here. So the Queen of Swords, she has and loves the power and control and authority that this sword brings her, and yet she sits on a beautiful gravestone throne. Does she know that her actions have consequences? And it's like this in the PDF file that I downloaded. It's like it looks more like a cement throne, like something that you'll see on a gravestone. So let's see here. So lastly is the King of Swords. And so I say, as he sits on his gravestone, because it looks like he's sitting on a gravestone as well. So as he sits on his gravestone throne, he is always ready to battle, as he is still wearing his knight's cloth / armor, always ready. He is a dead man walking if he's not paying attention. Yet his stature says, I as king will still come off this throne and kick your ass. He knows the consequences and welcomes them. However, the result is still this. And I say that because you see that red cape right there? This man is wearing the same red cape. The King of Swords. And also, this knight who quickly charges into battle, he's wearing that same red cape. So, I think that is it for that. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to go down the full Bill Clinton astrology or whatever. I'm just gonna sub and say that the November 13th is gonna be seemingly a huge date. I tried to warn Hillary Clinton on May the 15th, 2025, and yeah, let me see if I can find those dates. Yeah, so I told her on May the 15th. I said that she needs to watch out for March the 10th, 2025. That's when her progressed Saturn conjoined her natal Saturn. I think that's around the time that that Trump put his people into the Department of Justice. May 2nd, where her progressed Saturn squared her natal Mercury. I forgot what happened that day. I think Joe Biden, he around his date, I think he had an interview on The View with Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and all those stuff, whatever. And let's see here, May the 25th. Oh, on May the 25th, transiting Saturn in Aries or whatever. So that probably didn't correlate with her. But May 30th, for Hillary Clinton, her progressed sun made a sextile to natal Mercury. And a couple days later, on June the 3rd, her progressed sun quincunx her natal Saturn. And that's around the time that Bill Clinton, he released his book called Jesus Christ, I forgot it now. It's not Citizen, it's let me pause for a second. Okay, so the book was called The First Gentleman. And the big date that I told Hillary Clinton to worry about is on July 30th, where her progressed moon will quincunx her progressed Mars. And I said that was the same astrology as the Monica Lewinsky scandal in its beginnings. And apparently that's when Ghislaine Maxwell was being interviewed by I believe the FBI. And also that's around the time where so a lot of stuff came out about Obama interfering inside the 2016 election or whatever, and Hillary Clinton as well. But I think that was all just to cover up the fact that they was interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell. So that's when everything just began in regards to the whatever's going to come up on November the 13th, 2025. And so I also warned Hillary Clinton on July the 3rd, I believe, right? That on July the 5th, yeah, I said on July the 3rd that Bill Clinton, he would have the same astrology that he had when he claimed to not have had sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky. And so apparently what came out was that the DOJ, they released a memo saying that Epstein did in fact kill himself, and that Epstein did not have a client list. And so that same astrology happened on a day that Bill Clinton, he did not have sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky, and that happened on January 26th, 1998. And so what's going to happen on November 13th, 2025, is pretty much the same astrology that happened for Bill Clinton when the impeachment hearings happened. So that is that. And so I guess I'm going to end this video because it is freezing inside here. If Donald Trump wants to give me that $13 million, now be the time. And the $13 million and the list of stuff that I have, I got it message on my Twitter thing, and I got it on Truth Social. It is too cold inside here to be trying to, yeah. Anyway, so a lot of astrologers, this is the joke right here. They said that on the September 7th eclipse and the September 21st eclipse was going to take out Donald Trump, and I said no. It's going to piss off Donald Trump. This is upside down. I said no, it's not. I said it's going to piss off Donald Trump, but it's not going to take him out. Here's your eclipse right here. I said pretty much it's going to take out Bill Clinton. Looking at Bill Clinton's astrology. And so I'm going to end this video right here with the final joke. Oh, and as a matter of fact, let me also add this in reference to my Cardi B / Joe Biden interview, Santa Claus wish list or whatever that I wish Donald Trump would give me, including that $13 million or whatever. But this entire time that I was using on this quarter for this joke, I just thought this was just an ugly tree or whatever. And it turned out to be the Salt River Bay quarter. And it lined up with Bill Clinton's testimony that happened on Jesus Christ, October 14th, 2025. But it was also Charlie Kirk's birthday. But it's also one day after Christopher Columbus Day. And the Salt River Bay Quarter is in reference to Christopher Columbus. But also, apparently November 13th is the day that Christopher Columbus, he landed in the Americas in the Salt River, on the Salt River Bay, I believe. So, and let's see here. I think there's two more things. So there's an article that basically says that Bill Clinton, his penis is the circumference of a quarter and 5 inches. Now, let me pull it up real quick so I can just read it. Hopefully I transferred that Danny Williams Clinton thing over. But let's see here. So, I got a little schematic right here. They said that Trump had small hands. Well, they said that Trump had small hands, right? So, hopefully you can see it. So this is basically, if you want to get a reference in regards to Bill Clinton and his size, there you go. And the articles from the New Republic is titled "The Presidential Penis: A Short History." And let's see, is this still in frame? Okay. Ooh. So it says, thanks to various sex scandals, we have detailed descriptions, plural, of Bill Clinton's penis, according to Robert Bennett, Clinton's lawyer in the Paula Jones case. In terms of size, shape, direction, whatever the devious mind wants to concoct, the president is a normal man. There are no blemishes, there are no moles, there are no growths. The Independent offered a more prosaic account. His erect penis is about 5 inches long, has a circumference of a quarter, and heads off at an angle, presumably rather like a finger bent at the joint. No moles and growths. I'm shocked. And so, last I'm going to talk about Danny Williams Clinton, I think, right? So there's this black man who claims that he is Bill Clinton's biological son. And so looking at the astrology, and the boy he was, and the man he was born in 1985. This is before Jennifer Flowers story. This is before the Monica Lewinsky scandal story. So I say here that these, I think I posted this on August 20th, right? I probably posted before that, but this is the only thing I have pulled up right now, so let's see. I said these are the astrological progressions that prove to me that Danny Williams is Bill Clinton's biological son, reportedly for now and allegedly, looking at the astrology. So I said, so around March/April of 1985, his mother was impregnated. On November 10th, 1985, looking at Bill Clinton's chart, his progressed Saturn made a sextile to his natal Mars. And on November 11th, 1985, his progressed Mars made a square to his natal Saturn. And on December 7th, 1985, it was the birth of Danny Williams Clinton. And so these progressions last a long time, especially progressed Saturn. And that just means that they're on the they're in his first and 10th house. And that deals with his status and image. And Saturn and Mars is just, they're bad planets. So it causes like an emotional furious block. So the only thing that can make me think of that manifest inside of reality will be the birth of Danny Williams Clinton, a black man. So let it come out that a black woman was the quote unquote first Jennifer Flowers, or the first quote unquote Monica Lewinsky, a black woman, and that Bill Clinton has neglected his black child for, it is 2025 now, and he was born in 1985. Let me get my calculator real quick, because it is so cold in here I can't even think straight. And plus, I'm on the spot too, so 1985 minus 2025. 40 years. 40 years. So let's see here. And let it come out that Danny Williams Clinton on his birthday, he gets a nice birthday present. You are the father. Woo! Wouldn't that be bad? Let me see. Is that everything else? I mean, is that everything? Yeah, let it come out like that. An astrologer did the first astrologer to do a paternity test. The god of astrology, I spoke to 3. So let's see here. Let me pause for a second to see if I got everything. So in this video like this, pretty much Bill Clinton's life changed on October 11th, 2025. And that's apparently when Donald Trump was snubbed in regards to getting the Nobel Peace Prize. Anyway, so let's see here. I want to end with my quote. So, oh yeah, let me say this too. I made a post in regards to this or whatever. That song, "Payback is a bitch." Payback is a bitch from Scrubs season 7 or whatever. I mean season. They probably was going to get the right. Let me pause. Okay, so it was. This song is from Scrubs season 5 episode 7 called "Payback is a bitch." The choir was singing, "Payback is a bitch, payback is a bitch, payback is a bitch, oh yeah, payback is a bitch, it's just the beginning, but it's payback, oh it's payback, payback is a bitch, and the man, the white man, he got the Holy Spirit inside of him, I'm like, I can imagine Trump doing this inside and just dances to this song when this stuff goes down. He probably won't do it in public. But anyway, I want to end this video like this with my quote. So let the history books / devices always and forever say, 1 year and 3 days after Donald Trump should have died by assassination, he came back on the third day like Jesus, pissed in the face of his enemies, called it rain, and then destroyed them. And then he lived happily ever after. The end. P.S. I did say biblical. Signed astrologer Ice Blue 33, the god of astrology. And there's some people that might say that it's not on the third day. I didn't say 3 days and 3 nights. I said 3 days. And if you want to just get all technical and stuff like that, what is a woman? What is a woman? Let's go there. If y'all can change the definition of gender and stuff like that, let's just change the definition of everything. So anyway, moving on. Bye.